Now that you have understood how the interest checker workflow works, the next thing that I'd like to show you is how it actually responds based on the context responses. So the first thing that we need to do is to go back to the context page. Go to context. You can select any of the context that you would like to send to this workflow. So in my case, I'm just going to select the first one. So if you're testing this, just make sure that you're using your test contact, all right? So once you've selected the contact, one or more, you just select add to workflow, click on add to workflow, select the workflow that you'd like to send this contact to. It's going to be interest checker, and then select the date that you'd like it to start on. I'm going to select it to be at this time. Okay. For the batch quantity, I'm just going to set it as 1. For the time interval, I'm going to keep it as it is. Okay, actually for the purpose of demonstration, I'm going to change it to 1 minute. How do you want to perform this action on these days? Just select all of it. And the time window that this action should be able to run in. So I'm just going to set it as a default, which is 8 AM to 8 PM. Okay, once I'm done, I just have to click on add to workflow. Once it's added to workflow, you can check the progress over here. Click on check progress and you'll see that your bulk action is now being queued. And if you can just come back maybe in 1 minute or 2 minutes time, you should be able to see that the status has been changed. So I have fast forward the time and I've waited for the contact to enter the workflow, and I have run some tests in terms of the responses to be given to the AI model. So you can see that this is the first message that has been received by the contact. Okay, it says hi Sarah and so on. This is the name of the contact, and these are the options that's being given to the contact. So for my first test, I actually gave it just a numeric response, right? So you can see that if I responded with 1 equates to yes, I'm still interested. You can see that the AI correctly classifies it as interested and no question asked. If it is interested and no question asked, the workflow will just send the message for this interested contact accordingly to ask them to book. And then I proceed to do my second test. In my second test, you can see that I actually sent numeric response of 2. So numeric response of 2, which is not right now, maybe later. The AI classifies it as not interested, but they are still okay with future communications. And if that's the case, the workflow will send out this template message. And for the third test that I did, again, this is the initial message that's being sent out by the workflow. You can see that the contact responded with 3. The AI managed to correctly classify it as not interested, future okay, which means that future communication is fine, and sent out the acknowledgement message. And then I proceed on to do the fourth test. Okay, I know it sounds repetitive, but I really like to take you through it step by step. So just follow along. So this is the fourth test. You can see that the fourth time that I test it, I give it a numeric response of 4, and the AI classifies it as not interested, but the contact is okay with future communications. Okay, so this is the fourth choice, and basically the workflow just sends out the acknowledgement message. And for the fifth test that I did, so this is the initial message. For the fifth test, the contact responded with 5, and 5 equates to please remove me from your contact list. The moment that the contact responded with 5, the AI correctly classifies it as not interested and do not disturb, but still sends out that acknowledgement message. Okay, so the first part of it is basically just to test the numeric response from the contact. For the second segment of the test, we actually test it with natural language. So what this means is that you can see the contact has received the initial message, and the contact responded with yes please, can tell me more, and the AI correctly classifies it as interested, question ask. And in this particular case, we still use this template message to ask them to make a booking with us. And then for the second part of the test, we say no thanks. Okay, we say no thanks. If it's no thanks, the AI classifies it as not interested and do not disturb. This part is a little bit gray. Maybe some people will say that, please do not mark it as D&D. I would actually like to follow up with them in the future. you can do so by customizing the workflow. So for no thanks, it classifies it as not interested. And for the next test, I say maybe not now because I'm still busy with other stuff. The AI classifies it as not interested. Future communication is okay. And for this response that says, actually, what's the price? This is the classification whereby the AI classifies it as interested and question is being asked. All right. And of course, for this test, you can see that we say no thanks, but please let me know if you have any new promo in the future. The AI correctly classifies it as not interested, but future communication is okay. So, I mean, through these examples, you can see that the AI is able to handle the numeric response, and it's also able to handle the natural language responses from the contact, and it is able to classify them correctly based on their responses. All right. So up to this point, if you stay with me up to this point, you may have noticed that the workflow actually sends out this funny looking identifier. You don't have to worry about that. This is just for me to easily explain to you what the AI classifies, right? So when you are modifying the workflow messages, you can actually just remove this. Maybe it's better for me to just show you where this message is at. Let me go back to the workflow. Okay, I'm going back to the workflow. Okay, so in this workflow, you can see that for each of the scenario, for each of the template message, I included this thing, right? So in a production environment, meaning that when we're going live with this workflow, we shouldn't include this at all, right? This is just for demonstration purpose. So I hope that through this video demonstration, I hope that it gives you a deeper understanding in terms of what the AI, how the AI is going to behave, how the AI is going to classify based on the different responses, and what are some of the messages that will be sent out. And potentially, you can also gain some understanding in terms of how to update the workflow if you do need to change the messaging inside the workflow. All right, so I guess I will see you in the next video.